Hey, welcome. One of the biggest challenges for English learners is just talking about your day, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a super simple method that's going to help you turn your thoughts into confident speech. Let's get into it. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about that problem, that stuck feeling. Then I'm going to give you a really powerful formula to solve it. We'll practice it together for the morning, afternoon, and evening, and then it's going to be your turn to give it a shot. Ready? Let's dive in. All right, first up, let's talk about a feeling that I'm pretty sure a lot of you know all too well. It's that moment when you want to speak, but the words just get stuck somewhere between your brain and your mouth. I mean, does this sound familiar? You know the words, you've studied the vocabulary, words like wake up, work, eat dinner. But then someone asks you, so, what'd you do today? And poof, your mind goes completely blank. You're just scrambling to connect those words into a smooth sentence. It's so common and honestly, really frustrating. But today, we're going to fix that. So what's the solution? How do we get past that mental block? Well, it's a simple but seriously effective technique I like to call the think to speak formula. And it's built on a classic method you might have even seen before. Okay, so the secret sauce is this. You organize your thoughts before you even try to speak. And you do it by asking yourself these 5 super simple questions. Who, what, when, where, and why. By just answering these in your head first, you're basically giving your brain all the building blocks it needs to create a full, fluent sentence. Seriously, it's a total game changer. All right, let's not just talk about it, let's do it. We're going to put this into practice right now, starting with the very beginning of the day, your morning routine. Okay, so let's do the thinking step together. And look, no pressure here for perfect sentences. We just want the basic info. So, who are we talking about? Simple. What did I do? Get ready. When? Around 7 a.m. Where? At home. And the big one, why? To go to work. See that? In just a few seconds, we've collected all the key pieces of our story. And now, here comes the magic. Let's move to the speaking step. We just combined those simple answers, and look at that. Every morning around 7 a.m., I get ready at home so I can go to work. Bam! We went from scattered thoughts to a full, natural-sounding sentence. That is the power of the 5 W's. Now, to help you build your own morning story, here are some other really common verbs you can use. Take a look. Think about your routine. Which one of these could you swap into the what part of your formula? Brush teeth? Make breakfast? This is how you make it your own. Great. See how easy that was? Awesome. Now that we've got the hang of it, let's apply the exact same formula to the next part of the day, the afternoon. Let's run the formula again, this time for a typical workday afternoon. Ready? Who? My colleagues and I. What happens? We have a team meeting. When? At around 2 p.m. Where? In the conference room. And why? To discuss a new project. See? Simple, clear, and perfectly organized. And now let's combine those thoughts. Voila! Almost every day, my colleagues and I have a team meeting at around 2 p.m. in the conference room to discuss a new project. I mean, that's a detailed, professional-sounding sentence, and it came from 5 super simple answers. You can absolutely do this. And here are some more ideas for your afternoon. Maybe you work on your computer, answer emails, or go out to eat. Hey, pick one of these right now. Try plugging it into the what spot in the 5 W's formula. What would your sentence sound like? All right, you're doing great. Let's tackle the final part of the day. And guess what? The formula works just as well for your personal time, for relaxing or hanging out with friends in the evening. Okay, let's do this one last time. Imagine you're telling a friend what you do on Thursdays. Who are you with? My friends and I. What do you do? We go out to eat. When? Every Thursday at 7 p.m. Where do you go? At popular restaurants. And the best part? Why? Because we are all foodies. Love that. And when we put it all together, look what happens. You can even build it into a couple of sentences. My friends and I try to hang out every Thursday at 7 p.m. We go out to eat at popular restaurants in our area because we are all foodies. This shows how the formula can help you share personal details and sound totally natural. Now, what's really cool about this is how these simple descriptions can lead to real fun conversations, right? You might start by just saying you went out for pizza, and that can totally spark a playful debate like this one about whether pineapple belongs on a pizza. This is how you go from just describing your day to actually connecting with people. And to finish up our examples, here's a list of really common evening activities. Whether you like to cook dinner, read a book, or just go to bed early, you can use any of these verbs as the starting point for your own evening story. Okay, we've walked through the whole day together. We've seen the problem, that stuck feeling, and we've seen the solution. Now comes the most important part. It's your turn to put this into action. So just remember the key takeaway here. The process is always the same. First, you think by breaking it down with the 5 W's. This takes all the pressure off. Then, and only then, you combine those easy answers to speak fluently. Think first, then speak. It's that simple. Now, the real key to making this method stick for you is this one word: consistency. What does that mean? It just means practicing this formula over and over. You don't have to be perfect, but the more you use it, the more automatic and natural it's going to feel. It's like building a muscle.
So, you know what? Let's not wait. Let's practice right now. Using that 5 W's formula: who, what, when, where, and why. What is one thing you did this morning? Just think about it for a second and then try saying the sentence out loud, even if you're just whispering to yourself. This is your first step to speaking about your day with total confidence. You've totally got this.